Good deal. Now, yesterday, everybody, we had Western New York Heroes. And I hope you guys really liked that. I thought they did a nice job. Hope you enjoyed that. You know, Sergeant Hutchinson did not even go into any remote detail about his experiences. I mean, he was under heavy fire at certain points during the Iraq War. Friends of his did not come back. So he experienced a lot. I mean, Sergeant Rossi less so in terms of a combat experience, right? So you got to get a nice overview of what's out there in a sense. One of their groups that they work with is Western New York Heroes, and they mentioned it briefly. They didn't go into as much detail as they had time to. Let me get out of the slideshow. But this is a great opportunity for you guys to really get involved for some really cool community service. And I put a link on the top of our Schoology course to their form to sign up to be a volunteer. They are on our list. They're also on our senior hour list. So if you're thinking about even ahead, get those senior hours done, they're on that particular list. So they're a great group. You can read through this later. This is their mission statement. They're all local. None of the money, none of the support goes outside of our area. It's all for people in Western New York. They're right on Main and Transit, right down the street. So that's kind of nice. One of the things they did was the Positive for Heroes, where they help train and fund the training of these service dogs. So Sergeant Hutchinson didn't mention it to this class. I forgot which class he mentioned it, but he had a dog. His dog was uniquely his own pet initially, and then they got that pet trained to be his service dog. Well, he mentioned one of the other classes, I don't think he mentioned to you guys, that his dog actually passed away with heart trouble like about 6 months ago. The dog actually died. Young, was only like 6 or 7 years old. So that was unexpected, but he actually felt that in an ironic sense, he's actually better now because he was always had the dog. He was always actually worried about the dog. It actually caused him more anxiety. You're out in the public, you're worried about the dogs, the dog all right, the dog need this. So for him, it was kind of a different experience, but they help vets get these dogs, and it costs on average $5,000 to $10,000 to train these service dogs. One dog. So it's a lot of money. They're not cheap. So that's a great thing that they do. Another thing they do is this camp for kids in the summer. Camp for kids who parents are veterans or even active duty, so they can kind of get some stuff. You can volunteer at this camp for the summer. It'd be kind of neat. This is something that I am really playing with the idea of us getting involved in as a class. They adopt a family over the holidays, so they have a whole list of families in need in our area over the holidays. And you can adopt a family where the family kind of submits kind of like a wish list of what would help make their holiday a better experience. And we can kind of work together raising the items that are needed for that family. So we have a lot of people in our class. We can adopt maybe 1, 2, 3, a few, maybe even each class can adopt one family. I don't know. I'm going to learn more about it, but something I thought would be kind of cool for us to kind of give back if we can adopt a family. I think that'd be kind of neat. Anything we did after school in terms of organizing it or bringing it to places would count towards your hours, obviously. So that's kind of cool. That's really nice. This is great. I don't know if it might not help for us because it's more before school starts. Operation Backpack for school supplies. They help get cars for veterans. They do all this kind of stuff, scholarship stuff. So a lot of great things. So you go on our main Schoology page, it's right there. Volunteer, Western New York Heroes. That's the application. Fill it out. And as Sergeant Rossi, I think, mentioned it, maybe if you're working in their office and you're filing something that's not that exciting, but you're going to get a chance to talk to people who have amazing stories. He said a guy came the other day, elderly man in his 80s in need of assistance for his rent. And he had all the documentation. This guy was a decorated World War II vet and flew like 50 combat missions on B-17s. He's a hero. This poor guy, whatever the circumstances may be, is having a hard time paying his rent as an 80-plus-year-old man. So that's sad, and that's important work that they do to help out these veterans. So a lot of really cool, important things to kind of look at. So take a look. You can meet a lot of cool people, so I really encourage you to get involved in that. All right. Other thing today that I want to hit on really quickly is that in a couple weeks, we're going to start getting involved into our first major book that we're going to read together as a class called Washington's Crossing, about the Battle of Delaware, about the Battle of Trenton, the crossing of the Delaware River. I mentioned just earlier in the year, I will give you a hardcover textbook to keep, a school copy. You got to give it back. If you lose that book, it costs about $30 to replace. I always encourage students to get that full college experience. There's that used book list. I put the links right on our Schoology page. Here it is. You can go on to Amazon. Look at used copies, $2.01. All right, so for $2, you can pick up a used copy of a book, and it's yours. You can mark it up, you can write in it, you can annotate it. So I really encourage students to do that. It makes it easier than keeping notes on the side because you can't write in a school copy of a book. So keep that in mind, because like anything else, you highlight, annotate, you get credit for it. It helps your discussion. It's going to be great. When you get the book in the mail, when I give it to you in a couple weeks, don't get all freaked out, because it looks a little scary. It's kind of thick. You're not reading all of it. The last third's like all these extra appendices and notes, and we're going to break it up as a group. We're going to read different parts of it, and we'll work through it together. But it's a really great story. It won the Pulitzer Prize, and it's written like a novel. It's not like a history book. It's written like a story. So I think you guys are really going to like it. So keep that in the back of your mind. Put that, and go get some used books so you can have that. That'll be perfect. All right? Questions so far? You guys got questions? Everybody got questions? Everybody's good with that? Okay, awesome. All right. So back to what we're going to do today. So, folks, today is a really great project work day. You're not going to have this chance tomorrow to work because we're going to be on the field trip, but you will have a chance to work back on the project again on Friday. Thursday will be a discussion of Anderson 5. I apologize. I changed it on this calendar. If you noticed it, it was changed on this calendar, but I never changed it on Schoology last night. So if you think you had a discussion today, I apologize. If you're ever confused, please contact me. Don't contact each other because you probably don't know the answer to all that. Let me know. I don't care what time it is. Send me a text, something like that. I'll answer it usually pretty quickly. I forgot all about that because of our guest speakers yesterday. So we will have our discussion on Thursday of that about their battle experiences. You will have a project work day on Friday. We might build in one more project work day, that's it, for the video making process. So we're kind of moving this along so we can start producing these movies that you have all your sources found, hopefully. So back to the checklist. You should have all this right by now, right? Hopefully you have all your sources, your text sources, 7 to 10. Make a noodle tool citation for each of those sources. Chicago, put that bibliography somewhere in the folder. You don't need to cite your images. You do not need to cite your images. 2 to 3 newspaper articles, right? 1 from Google Book, 1 from Gale Novel. I want your insignia, tons of images. But in terms of the movie, something we haven't talked about yet, that's important. Your movie should have a title sequence, an opening title. Like, who are you? Some screenshots of those newspaper articles, right? Some animation effects. A voiceover, I'll mention it today. The music, the sound effects. A lot of images, cool transitions. Put text again over the screen like you did before for your Pequot commercial. Put some cool text on the screen. And some ending credits. So that will be really, 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 really good. So that's what we're doing for this, okay? So, making a voice narration. Can I have the lights, please? So I can show you guys this. Now, so I'm going to go back to projects. Guys, what you're going to do today, and please watch this carefully, you're going to make another collaborative project like you did for the Pequot commercial, but this time each of you are making your own video edit in the project. So look, you guys will have 5 edits, you guys will have 5 edits, and so forth. So you're going to divide up the movie into 5 segments, and each of you are doing part of it. So that's why if the movie is 3 to 5 minutes long, at most you're doing a minute video on your own, which is part of the larger video. That's why it shouldn't take that long to actually do this if you're breaking it up that much, okay? So that's why you got to figure out who's doing what. So you go into your projects, one person does this, they make a brand new project, they give it a title, they make it a collaborative project, and then you add everybody's name to it like you did the last time. Remember all this before? Now, if you made the project, it will be in your My Projects. If the project was shared with me, it will be in the Share With Me project, okay? So example, I could open up this one for a couple years ago. There's a ton of edits here because I was messing around with it. So eventually you'll have 5 edits in this project. You make a new video edit in the project. You got to be in your project to make the video edit. That's important because if you make it outside the project, other folks on the project can't see it, and then we can't combine it with the rest of the group's stuff. So it's really important you make your video edit within the project. That's essential, okay? So I'm going to get out of here. I'll get to some test project I was messing around with. What was that? Video test. Okay, cool. Let me open this one up. Okay, here we go. So how do you make a voice narration on WeVideo? Let me give you a really important tip. I recommend you make your voice narration first. Have all that laid out what you want to say, and then lay your images over that so it matches what you're saying perfectly. Don't lay out all your images first and then try to do your voice narration. What's going to happen is certain images will be on the screen longer than others, and your voice might not match up, and all of a sudden there's a spot you want to speak about, and it's not on the screen long enough, and what are you going to do? Talk really fast, right, to get it in, and that won't sound good. Or the image is on the screen too long, you're talking slow so it matches up. It's going to be really choppy. So make your voice narration first, then lay your images down over it so everything's nice and lined up. So right on WeView, you can do this. Watch this carefully. Hit the media folder and a little microphone. See it? A little microphone. Everybody see it? Everybody see it? Hit the microphone and you can record. It's going to have a 3, 2, 1. Okay, right now we are in period 5. Period 5. Say hi. Hi, period 5. We sound so excited. Yeah. Okay, so you got your recording. You press the save button, and it will pop up right in your media. So right here, I think this is right, maybe. What does it sound like? Okay, right now we are in period 5. Period 5. Say hi. Hi, wow, that was really enthusiastic. That was great. It was awesome. You guys are great. All right, so once you got it, right, now you drag it down to your voiceover lines. So it's kind of cool, so you can then press play. So here we are right now. Oh, period 5. I got loud going the same time. Period 4, period 3. So it appears already on WeView. You can drag it down. That's one easy way to do it because it puts it right into your media folder and you're good to go. Now, here's another way. All right, right now I am sharing my phone on the screen. Unlike most of you, I haven't been trapped by Apple and their madness. I hate iPhones and everything that has to do with them. So I'm an Android user, always have been, so sorry about that. So most of you are iPhone users. I know my wife is my daughter. They all love I can't say that. But anyway, you guys have an app called Voice Memo on the iPhone, which works the same way as this. This is called Voice Recorder. So it's an easy app. You just hit the record button. You can start talking into your phone and blah, 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 blah. And you press stop. And then you can name it. And then you can share it right to your Google Drive. You can press Drive. Mine looks a little bit different than yours. And you can save it to your Drive and select your folder, right, for your group project. And make your whole voice narration just using your phone as long as you have a voice recording app and Google Drive on your phone. And then you can put it right into your project folder. Just another little tip if you want to use that way as well. Okay? So comments or questions? All right. You guys are going to be able to dive into this. I'm going to start passing out shirts to everybody who ordered one and start getting a lot of stuff done. It's going to be great. Perfect. Thank you so much.